Hi there, it's Sam from Pootles.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today's project is this one, and it's a box with a lid that sits all the way flush. Isn't that clever? Oh, this is just such a con. I feel like a complete con. Well, you see, when I posted up, when I was creating this box, I loved it and I was really happy with the result, and I posted a photograph on my Facebook page, and I didn't say what the box was, but lots of people said, oh, I want to see how you make that box with the lid that sits flush. And it's that. It's a milk carton with a lid that sits flush. It is a little bit of a con, but it's really clever. It wasn't what I was designing, actually. I was designing a box where it would slide all the way down much further. But I ended up with that and I really loved it. So I'm going to show you how to make it so you could have it as two boxes in one. I like it. I just like it. And you know what? Sometimes we get gift boxes that look like that anyway. So, okay, I'll show you how to make it. The base part, the coloured part, 11 by 7 inches, 28.5 by 18. The lid, 11 by 4, which is 28.5 by 10. And we're going to start on that bit because I want to stamp it first. So, beautiful painted petals. I'm going with this image here for my smoky slate that I'm going to work with. This one here, and I'm going with Wisteria Wonder, and then I've got the wording as well, so I'm going to stamp it all at the same time. So we'll go with the big bits. Wisteria Wonder, whoops. And I want to stamp because obviously I'm going to score. So, you know, I want to get the stamping in first. There we go, get that out of the way. Grab my smoky slate and this little double one just to fill in the gaps. Apparently stick my thumb in it as well. And one more there. And then while I've got the ink out, I'm going to stamp my greeting, which is "You are amazingly amazing." So I'm just going to... There we go. So move those right out of the way and then I can do the scoring. So grab my scoring tool, get rid of that because it's just going to make my brain ache. I can't cope with patterns on paper while I'm scoring. Okay, so on the base, so the base, as I said, 11 by 7 inches, 28.5 by 18 centimetres. I've already cut mine down, so it's already cut. On the long side, I'll give you the imperial first. You score it at 3.5, 5 1/4, 8 3/4 and 10.5 inches, which is 9, 13.5, 22.5 and 27 centimetres. Turn it round and score it at 1 3/4 of an inch, 4 3/4 of an inch, and at 6.5 inches, which is 4.5, 12 and 16.5 centimetres. And then with the top, we're going to score that along the long side, exactly the same measurements as before. 3.5, 5 1/4, 8 3/4 and 10.5, which is 9, 13.5, 22.5 and 27. And then turn it around, and this time we're only going to score it once at 1 3/4 of an inch, which is 4.5 centimetres. And the finished dimensions of the box is the box main, the big, this part basically. It's 3.5 inches that way by 3 inches that way by 1 3/4 that way, which is 9, 7.5 and 4.5 centimetres. So that's the sizing of it. So okay, come along, fold and burnish all your score lines. I forgot to say, this is just Whisper White cardstock, this one here that I've used as the lid. And I think our Whisper White it's the same weight as our coloured cardstock, but it has been compressed, squished so smooth to get the perfect stamping finish that it doesn't feel as sturdy. So we don't really use it for box making particularly, but you know, it's okay, we can make it for lids. So just keep folding all of these. Okay, now there's a section, this is going to pinch in here. I didn't put score lines into my original one. You can if you want to. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Basically, you're going to score from the middle. Let's turn it over. These little square parts, you're going to score from the middle down to that point there. So I'm going to grab my ruler so that if you do choose you want to do it, I'm just eyeballing it. These are the parts that you do it. I think it kind of depends on how thick your cardstock is as well. And then just go straight up in that bit. Yeah, it really does. It does just depend on how thick your cardstock is as to whether you want to do that or not. Okay, long pair of scissors. So get rid of this section here. This one here, the rectangle, and then cut straight up, because obviously this part is just it's just a basic milk carton shape. So that's the cutting for that one. On here, let me go onto the plain side. Again, the little skinny rectangle, we don't need that one. So just get rid of that. And then cut up the other score lines there. Oh, my phone. I have no complete mute option on my phone anymore. I did a factory reset the other day. It was getting terribly slow, and I used to be able to put it onto silent, vibrate only, or nothing. I don't have the nothing option anymore. Okay, so I've put some adhesive down there. I'm using the fuse. Love the fuse. I think it kind of likes me too. This doesn't fight with me. This is the back of the box, so you fold your sides in, then the back is the last one, because we're going to fold up and have a nice pretty flush front. And then these sides will pinching, because obviously, you know, I've put the score lines in and they just fold in really quite simply and easily. I'll come back to that in a second. And I'm going to put some fuse down here as well. And again, same principle, that's going to be the back. So you fold in the back piece last, and then this is going to be the front. That's going to be the lid. So to close this one up, where's the back? There's the back. I'm just going to grab a clip to hold it. Well, actually, I'm not. I'm going to punch a hole first, and I'm just going to use my crocodile. So I can punch a hole in, because I want to obviously seal this bit, but not a permanent seal. So just some ribbon is enough. And obviously, by the fact that we have the matching beautiful Wisteria Wonder ribbon, you know, I'm going to have to use that really, aren't I? I love it. Just grab a clip to hold that shut for a minute. Just push that through. And just tie it off in a knot or a bow or whatever you want to close it with. I'm just going to do a really fumbly bow because I can't do anything else other than fumbly bows. Oh, actually that's quite pretty. It's because I was talking, I think. I think if I maybe jabber on and talk while tying bows in future, I might get a decent one out of it. There we go. Scooch all those off, and then the lid just sits over the top and fits flush, because it's obviously exactly the same dimensions, and it sits beautifully. And then I've lost my front. Okay, so I've got it. Let's have two fronts at the front. So I've got my seams at the back. Quick finish off, so I've got my extra large oval punch because it fits pretty much exactly round that one. And then I've got some dazzling diamonds. See, look, you can see where I did the last ones. I'm going to have a large, extra large oval of that, and then, whoops, 3 petite petal flowers. I'll quickly lift those up, and I'm going to show you how to get your candy dots to stay put, because glimmer paper, nothing likes to stick to glimmer paper. It really doesn't. Where's my candy dots? They're over here. And you have to push really hard, and you have to come back in again with the back of whatever it is you've caused your, you know, you've used to make your flowers pop up. And you have to push really, really hard, because otherwise they ping off, which is never good. You never want the centre of your flowers to ping anywhere. My hands are shaking, I'm pushing that hard. Seriously, you don't want them going anywhere. And then finally just lift it all up. And again, when you're putting, you know, when you're sticking your greeting to the front of the glimmer paper, you have to push kind of hard, because otherwise it just doesn't stick. And mini glue dots for the back of this. Oops. I have one up there, I think. And then we'll have a couple down at the bottom. And I really feel like it's a bit of a con, because it looks like this amazing box with a lid that sits flush, and it's not. It's a milk carton with a lid. I'm really pleased with it. I'm really pleased with how it looks. And I hope you do too. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to speak to you very soon. Bye.